Yes team, welcome back to another YouTube video. So in today's video, I'm going to go through my top 5 apps to help you with your fitness goals. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you're a new viewer, welcome to my channel. My name is Nathan, I'm an online coach and I help guys and girls achieve life-changing and sustainable fitness transformations. The apps that I'm going to talk about in today's YouTube video, I do recommend to all my team members. I also talk about these across my other social media platforms. And of course, you know, if they are used correctly, they will help you with your particular fitness goal. What I'm going to do is the 5 apps that I'm going to go into a bit more detail. I'm going to put on the screen now. So of course, if there is an app that you want to go into in a bit more detail, you can go straight towards that. First of all, we're going to talk about Happy Scale. So Happy Scale is a free app that you can download on your phone that basically tracks your weight and it can monitor your movement average. Something I always talk about when it comes to tracking your particular weight is taking your weekly average rather than basing it on a day-to-day basis, because as we know, weight does fluctuate. So what I'd highly suggest is take the reading for 7 days, and of course with Happy Scale you can then assess your movement average. If you didn't want to track your weight every single day, what I would suggest is tracking your weight sort of 3 or 4 days throughout the week. So you're basically going to be weighing yourself every other day, and when you do weigh yourself, make sure it's after the toilet and before you've had any food or drink to get the most accurate reading. So I'm going to show you what mine looks like. So as of today, which is the 4th of March, weighed in at 90.7, and if I kind of scroll down just quickly, you can see my weight fluctuates anywhere between 90.2 to 90.7, because at the moment I'm just trying to maintain my weight over the last couple of months. I'm not too sure why it hasn't kind of given me a loss over the week, but it does show the movement average. So kind of 90.5, 90.4, 90.3 is the kind of movement average. So overall on a weekly basis, I'm slowly kind of increasing weight, which, you know, it's not really too bad. It's not a crazy amount of weight. If I go down to January, it does tell me that obviously the loss over the week, 0.1. Of course, this particular app is fantastic for those that are looking at going into a cut or going into a fat loss phase, because what you can do is, of course, you know, you can track your weight and you can see your weekly average, and hopefully over the course of the week you'll be able to see that number decrease. So on the right hand side you'll be able to see the loss. Of course there are other apps that you can use to track your weight, or if you didn't even want to use an app, you can just use your phone, you can just use notes to track your weight on a weekly basis. But I find apps like this are really good because obviously you can scroll all the way down and you can see what your weight was like last year and so forth. Next up we have an app called MyFitnessPal, which basically tracks your calories and your macros on a daily basis. You can input all the foods to the gram to give yourself a total calorie and macronutrient number. If you don't know how to use MyFitnessPal, and if you haven't already, I'd highly suggest checking out my YouTube video from last month, where it's a complete MyFitnessPal walkthrough guide for beginners. I show you how to calculate your calories and macros, how to set everything to 0, how to input all the foods into MyFitnessPal. When it comes to MyFitnessPal and tracking food, I understand that tracking your calories and macros isn't for everyone, and I completely understand why. However, what I do recommend to everyone is just have an understanding of calories and macros, understand food portions, food moderation, and I think the best way that you can do that is just by using MyFitnessPal, because there's a few foods that you might be including into your daily intake that are crazy high in calories and you didn't really know. So the best thing I would suggest is just use MyFitnessPal 2 to 4 weeks on a consistent basis every single day. Track your foods that you're having, breakfast, lunch, dinner, for snacks. Have your daily total that you can obviously see, and then you can see obviously your protein, your carb and your fat intake, and try and align it to your particular fitness goal. So let me just quickly show you how easy it is to use an app like this, and it only takes you a couple of minutes. Those extra 5 or 10 minutes in the day are really going to take you so far when it comes to understanding nutrition. So we're going to get MyFitnessPal app up. I'm going to add foods. I'm going to search for Greek yogurt, so obviously Skyer. I'm going to select it. Obviously you've got the serving size and number of servings. This will make a little bit more sense obviously once you watch my MyFitnessPal walkthrough video. So I had 150 grams. I'm going to tick that in. Let's go for frozen fruits. It's frozen mixed fruit. 150 grams, and honey, 10 grams, and almonds, let's go 10 grams as well. So I've put that all into MyFitnessPal, 252 calories. If I go all the way down to nutrition, it will tell me I've had 20 grams of protein, 27 grams of carbohydrates, and 6 grams of fat. So of course, you know, those food choices were completely at random, but I just want to show you how easy it was to just input foods to MyFitnessPal, especially if you've searched for foods before, they automatically come up really quickly. So if you are having similar foods throughout the week, it will literally only take you a few seconds. So the next app that I want to talk about is Sleep Cycle. So this app I downloaded a couple of months ago, and if I'm honest, it's one of the best purchases that I've made. And when I say purchase, of course, the app is free for 7 days, but this one you do have to pay for. I think it's £25 over the course of a year, but it's really, really good because it allows you to track the quality of your sleep. If you're not already prioritizing the quality of your sleep, I would highly recommend doing so, because not only is it going to help with tiredness, it's going to help you with energy, productivity, training, workouts, overall happiness as well. Honestly, if there's something that I want you to take out of this particular YouTube video, is just understanding your own individual sleep quality and just try your very best to improve it. Sleep Cycle is the app that I use to track my sleep, but of course there are many others. I just use Sleep Cycle because obviously I'd seen lots of recommendations on this app, went for the 7-day free trial, and it's really simple to use. So with this app, it tracks the amount of hours that you're in bed, how many hours you're asleep, and also the quality of your sleep in a percentage. So my percent ranges anywhere between 75 and 85. I have had 100% before, but I'm not exactly sure what's caused that. I'm going to talk about how you can kind of journal your sleep and some of the notes you can put in a second. But I think the best thing about this particular app is if I scroll down, you can actually listen to the recordings of your sleep. So you've got the sleep talking, which is quite funny with my girlfriend. She talks in her sleep quite a lot, which is, you know, provides some entertainment in the morning. It also records, like, obviously snoring as well. It's really highlighted to myself how bad of a snorer I actually am. So 100% I'm going to get my nose and my nasal fixed at one point going forwards. But yeah, this particular app would highly recommend. Obviously, like anything, you just want to use it as a little bit of data, and just knowing where you're at in terms of your sleep quality, I think is really, really important. So it just takes 2 seconds to set up the recording of your sleep. So on here, you can actually set an alarm if you want to. I don't, I just use the normal alarm on my phone. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna press start. And this is really important. This is where we can add some sleep notes. And I guess the kind of more insight, the more data this particular app has, the kind of better and the more accurate representation of the sleep quality it gives you over a period of time. So I'm just going to select good day. I'm going to say I worked out as well. Going to confirm and say done. Okay. And of course, then all you've got to do then is just put the phone on the ground, and it records all the talking and all the snoring. So like I said, it's a 7-day free trial, and of course you have to pay after. But even if you just download it and just see the amount of hours that you are actually asleep, I don't think it will give the quality of your sleep in the corner. I think you have to have the full version for that. But yeah, just download it, see what it's like, and then go from there. So the next app that I want to talk about is an app called Notion. So Notion is a workspace. And I think a lot of university students use it, as well as a lot of people who work in teams, because obviously you can share things. You can use it on both the mobile and desktop version as well. But what I want to talk about in Notion is purely setting goals. So we can use Notion to do so. We can set long-term, short-term, weekly and daily goals as well. What I want to talk about in today's YouTube video in reference to this app is just setting yourself daily, weekly and long-term goals as well. So I've got Notion up on my phone, and I have taken some of my daily goals off just because it has some names and things like that in. But what you can do with this app, which works really well, is rather than obviously using a diary, obviously if it's a bit too long, or a calendar, you've just got this app on your phone, which you can obviously tick the boxes like so. So this particular app works really well with daily goals, weekly goals, if you've got things that need to be done throughout the week. And I think as well, when you set yourself a long-term fitness goal, whether it be a holiday, an event or anything like that you want to get in shape for, what you can do to hold yourself accountable is you can put that long-term goal into Notion, and then you can put a whole load of tick boxes of things that you need to do in order to achieve that particular goal. I found this worked really well, not only from an accountability point of view, but from a productivity point of view as well. So I would highly suggest using this particular app if you have any daily, weekly or long-term goals. Just to give you a little bit of insight of some of the things that you can add into this, you've obviously got text, obviously got different headings, as I was speaking about earlier, obviously images, videos, files that you can upload, Google Drive, tweets if you want to embed a tweet. So there's lots of things that you can do via Notion. Of course, if you didn't want to use Notion, you can just use Notes on your phone. I find that Notion can work better if you want to link certain tasks or products together because it's all on one platform, whereas Notes, obviously you've just got that one page. But of course, if you don't want to use Notion, you could just use Notes. So the fifth and final app that I want to talk about, where it's kind of two apps into one to track your activity levels on your Apple Watch, and that's an app called Activity and an app called Workout. Of course, if you don't have an Apple Watch, you can use a Fitbit, it's going to do exactly the same thing. Or if you wanted to, you could just use the Health app on your iPhone, but it's probably not as accurate as a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, and I'll talk about that very shortly. When it comes to goal setting and accountability, you want to kind of see what you do on a weekly basis. So if you set yourself some workout goals or step goals, you need a way of tracking those. And I find these two apps that you can use on an Apple Watch do exactly that. Let's start with the Activity app. And the reason I've kind of combined these two together is because on the Health app, you can kind of see your workouts, your steps and everything like that. So with the Activity app that I've just got on my watch, if I scroll all the way down, you can set yourself some daily and weekly goals. So I think the goals that I've just set are reasonably basic when I first got my watch. So obviously you can set yourself some move goals, exercise goals. If I go all the way down, it will show me how many steps I've done so far today, which I think is really important. It will also give me some weekly goals as well, so obviously I can see how I've been moving throughout the week. The second app that I want to talk about that goes in with the Apple Watch is an app called Workout. So your workout tracks your calories in that particular session, which I think is really important. So when it comes to fat loss and weight loss, we of course think of calories in and calories out. When we tend to think of calories out, we just purely think of steps and cardio without actually realizing how many calories we burn in a workout. So I think that's really important. So on my watch here, I'm just going to select where it says high intensity interval training. It gives us 3 seconds to get started. And I think what's really cool about this is obviously it gives us the time. It gives us an active calorie, total calorie and beats per minute. I think it takes a bit of time to obviously calculate those, but it's active calories that we want to be focusing on, but obviously it gives us both active and total. Of course, if you do follow me on Instagram, you always see on my story, post-workout, a picture of my watch, of my total and active calories. I think more from an accountability point of view, just keep showing up. And I think when you're tracking your particular workout and then afterwards, obviously you can end the workout. I guess it's a little bit like a tick in the box. Okay, done another workout, on to the next one. And if I just quickly flip over to the Health app, which of course you can use if you want to, if either you don't have an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, or you don't use those apps and you just want to use it on your phone. So I've just got the Health app now. Obviously it does track my steps. The reason I don't tend to use this is just because I don't think it's as accurate as something that's on your wrist. A lot of the time I won't have my phone in my hand, or if I'm working out, I don't always have my phone in my pocket. It's always on the side, or if I'm obviously training in the gym, it's on my bag. So that's just one thing to be mindful of. If you are tracking it, it's probably not exactly accurate. That being said, watch can obviously still have the same problem. It's probably not exactly accurate, but I'd probably say it's sort of 90-95%. So they're my 5 apps that you can use to help with your particular fitness goals. You have Happy Scale that can track your scale weight, MyFitnessPal that can monitor your calories and macros every single day, Sleep Cycle to track the quality of your sleep, Notion to set long-term, short-term, weekly and daily goals. And then you have the activity and the workout app on your Apple Watch, or if you don't have an Apple Watch, you can use the health app. If you did enjoy this video, smash that like button and consider subscribing if you enjoy content like this, as I've got lots more videos planned that include a range of fitness tips. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.